Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Find Me Alpha LCS Week 8 for one of our big games of the week, match of the week between News Team Assemble and the Power Bottom Boys. I am your host and your play-by-play caster, Sean Minbung Shannon, joined here by Sebastian Badex Instincts. How's it going today, Sebastian?
Hey, what's up, Twitch stream? Let's get it.
Yep, so this is a matchup between our current third and fourth place team having huge implications on playoffs as we go forward. A 2-0 for either team could really solidify either one of their playoff spots, which could also make their playoff spots be in a drastic change right now as we go forward and just hop right into pick bands.
Alright, just an interesting note as well. Thunderbolts, formerly known as Gerg7, will be playing mid lane for this match. They do have a substitute in the form of the Oceanics in the support role. So just keep that in mind going through these pick band stages as you see the Anivia first.
Yeah, so the former support will be mid lane, and formerly known as Euromoose from Codename Carries Next Door will be support subbing for the side of NTA. The Poppy and Misfortune bands coming out focusing on their two carries of Fudgy Ditters and Frontlash. And again, as you mentioned, the Anivia band and now the Sivir band, because who doesn't ban Sivir in PMA LCS? And the Fiora coming out focused at Frontlash with the Zoe actually picked off. So a different type of pick band already going for the side of Power Bottom Boys with the adaptation of Thunderbolts going in the mid lane.
Yeah, very strange. Greg hasn't. I'm sorry. Thunderbolts hasn't actually pulled out the Zoe mainly because of the fact that he has not been in the mid lane. However, even when he was in the mid lane, he didn't really pull it out that often. I think Opie once said it the best is that Zoe is kind of like a feast or famine kind of champion, and so I don't really see the need to ban it. But I guess Power Bottom Boys are maybe scouting out a little bit more than I am.
Yep, so we have a Morgana pick coming in here that can go mid or support. We have seen Thunderbolts on it, and we know that it can possibly go down to Euromoose. And then the Syndra pick immediately coming in, so feeling confident that it's probably a Morgana support right there, because I'm not sure you want to necessarily play that matchup in mid lane if you are Power Bottom Boys.
Yeah, but Morgana isn't exactly a hard champion to pick. I mean, honestly speaking, if Thunderbolts actually feels comfortable enough, then it could end up just being a Morgana mid, and the Power Bottom Boys kind of just played into that, saying, okay, well, now we know what the mid lane is going to be, so maybe force their hand a little bit. I'm not sure where their head was at for that pick.
Yep, and looking at what they've picked while we were discussing Labyrinth 1898 picking up his pocket Lee Sin that he's been known for right now, not necessarily in the meta, but always a Lappy champion. And the Xerath locked in, so now we know exactly where that Morgana is going. So the Syndra pick looking even better right now with Lucian being locked in down there for Midnight Wisp.
Lucian is a very volatile AD carry right now. He can do so much in the bottom lane because of those dashes. He's going to be able to get away from certain situations. He's going to be able to wave clear with the ultimate. Really solid pick by the marbles here.
And to round out the last pick right here going forward, I think there's a chance it's going to be, okay, an Alistar into the Morgana. Kind of interesting right there for the side of Murphy Raudet. Also interesting not to want to pick up the AD carry for Fudgy Ditters. Maybe there's something they're trying to plan out something a little bit spicy, knowing that it was going to be the Lucian already.
I'm questioning, will this actually be a bruiser bottom lane? Has Power Bottom Boys put in the practice to go ahead and go with that bruiser bot that's been really popular with a lot of these Alistars? Honestly speaking, if I were the marbles, I would be starting to try and prep for that. Because of that fact.
Yep,
and really interesting that they went to the Alistar instead of the Braum, knowing that it was going to be a Morgana support as well.
Yeah, exactly. And looking at that, they Marbles does not think that it's probably going to be a bruiser support, banning out the Ezreal. The Cho'Gath in the top lane banned out against Oranges, and Shyvana banned away from Quicksilvers. And then the NASA span as well, as the Kaisa is still up and left up and locked in by Fudgy Ditters.
Okay.
So over here, we're just looking for their jungler and top lane on the side of News Team Assemble that we will interchange between that and Marble Olympics because they did not decide on which name to choose. So therefore, I will not decide on which name to call them.
And there's the live pick. Yeah, that's a pretty standard pick right there. I mean, Vive. What did he change his name to? The Quicksilvers. It's been a pretty solid pick for them, and the Ornn to go ahead and match that up. I actually enjoy that pick. It gives them a lot of disengage or engage options. To where the Alistar and the Lee Sin really only have engage options. They can kite around and try and get a little space between them, but not to the same aspect as an Ornn can. I just looking.
Okay, so I was going to say that the Vi's a really good pick into the Syndra and the Kaisa to get on the back line, and I was told by Oranges that I should go nuts if they left the Ornn open. But after seeing what they picked into it, I'm not thinking that he's feeling as great either, because personally, I don't know if there's anybody on this desk right now that could speak to how Alawi does into Ornn, but maybe we could find somebody.
Let me tell you how good Alawi is with Ornn.
It depends. Okay, honestly speaking, it really depends. This Alawi pick is kind of spicy because it's the fact that it's not me on the pilot of it. But that also makes me really, really excited because it's Frontlash. It's one of the premier top laners of this league. So I'm very interested into what he thinks and how he pilots this champion. I'm always down for more suggestions and everything else like that. So it really depends. Alawi has two major builds, and that is you either go the Q max first with the Trinity Force Rush, or you go the E max first, which with the Black Cleaver Rush. My honest opinion, the E max with the Black Cleaver Rush is a lot stronger against a tankier lane opponent. So that is what I expect Frontlash to do. But really, the ball is in his court. I'm just excited that there's a fucking another Alawi player, man. I'll be honest. I'm super hyped.
Yeah, I think looking at both comps, as we take a look just one last time over here, you really see what News Team Assemble wants to do. The Ornn pick, I was told, hey, you should definitely, go crazy if I get this because I did really well in Scrim. So maybe Rangers, is the Lorlo of Scrims, just the Scrim god. But Alawi being picked into it, and I think I remember seeing NTA versus Box series where there was I think it was an Ornn into Alawi, was it not?
No, it wasn't. It was
even better. Wonderful, yeah. A tank into Alawi, and with that Emax just shredding down. So, as much as I want to go crazy for Rangers, he can't dodge skill shots with that as much as I'd like him to. So let's see if he can prove us wrong here on the caster desk. So let's look at win conditions for both teams right now. If you're the side of power bottom boys, you just want your top lane to kind of snowball and not receive any pre-6 ganks from the side of NTA, because once she hits 6, you don't want to touch that lane. Generally ever.
Yeah, it really all depends on the Vi. Now the thing is that the NTA, they have had practice against an Alawi, and I feel as if I keep forgetting what his name is. Quicksilvers. Quicksilvers needs to really pay attention on where the tentacles are. If it is going to be an Emax Alawi, they need to wait for that ability to be down before anything else. Once an Alawi doesn't have her E, she doesn't exactly have a lot in her kit because she can't really spam abilities other than her W. So it just really depends on that. It's going to be a very volatile lane, but honestly, I really don't know who to give it to in this matchup because it's it's a tank versus an Alawi, so you automatically assume the worst for the tank. But it just really depends on how Orangers plays the lane and waits until he gets tankier. Um, but to take perspective on the other side of the map, as far as win condition goes, I think that marbles need to they need to kite, and they have a really good team comp set up for that. They have the Thunderbolts on the Xerath, Midnight Wisp on the Lucian. They should be able to kite out any damage that comes from the side of PBB.
I want to.
With that being said, I don't know where the Alistar actually comes into play because it's an engage tool. I do understand that it's a pretty heavy engage tool. However, like I said before, Xerath shouldn't be anywhere near the Alistar. Lucian will be able to just dash away. Morgana can black shield whoever it is knocked up from the Alistar combo to be able to get him out of that situation. Mm-hmm. So I really don't know where the Alistar kind of fits in PBB's comp. So that's kind of like where I really don't know who has the better team comp.
So here. One thing I just want to point out, doesn't it say Morgana Summoner 5 for you?
No.
On my screen, it actually says Summoner 5, as if it's just a bot or something, some rando.
Oh wow, that's pretty funny actually.
But what I think is interesting is that Xerath is we have two very immobile mid laners, and then two extremely mobile AD carries. So you have to think that both teams' focuses will be on this mid lane early. Syndra, though, if left alone, can just one-shot the Xerath in the lane. I think it's going to be up to which side lanes roam more. You want to see the Ornn probably they're not going to go if the Ornn goes even in lane, that's fantastic. And just goes down and starts ulting for team fights. They have no way of stopping this Ornn ult, which is why the Braum would have been so much better than the Alistar that we were talking about. So they have instant engage. A Morgana binding that lands almost ensures a Vi ultimate or a follow-up of Call of the Forge God. But on the other side, a Lee Sin Q or kick or a Alistar headbutt pull or a Syndra stun could also mean the exact same thing for the side of PBB, but they do not have as much reliable engage as the side of NTA.
Yes. I would try and say that they don't have safe engage or free engages, to be completely honest. With the Morgana, with the Xerath, even with the Ornn, none of those champions actually put their bodies on the line to create the engage. So if it doesn't work out, hey, you know what? We'll wait for the summon. We'll wait for the ability to go ahead, come off the cooldown, and then we'll try again later. On the side of PBB, you have to actually put your body on the line in order to create those engages. So, it's a little bit more dangerous for PBB to actually engage fights. Honestly speaking, I actually don't think PBB should engage these fights. If Frontlash can get to the point with an Alawi to where he can create pressure in any lane that he stands in, then all that free engage that NTA has is neutralized. It's what happened versus the box versus NTA game. Is that they had engage potential. However, if Alawi was there, then they didn't even want to do it. And again, Alawi in the split push, as I've played it, it doesn't have to rely on it doesn't rely on anybody but herself. A, and B, it's going to require at least 2 to 3 enemy champions to even go and deal with her. So I'm actually not sure how the 5v5 is going to play out. But we're just going to have to see how PBB plays that Alawi, and then how NTA will go ahead and react to it.
So get your hashtag NTA win or hashtag PBB win as we are loading into the game right now. Huge matchup between our number 3 and 4 team. A 2-0 could spell a playoff solid lock for one team and disaster for the other team. Neither one of these teams want to come away with a 1-1 because that just means more indecisiveness and knowing where you're going to be for the rest of the playoff hunt as we go into the final week.
So I do see the grasp of the Undying on front lash. So that tells me it's going to probably be a Q max with a Trinity Force Rush.
Yeah.
I don't agree with it. However, I've been proven wrong before. I hope I get proven wrong here because I always like to see Alawi win. That's just me.
So an Alawi win is a PMA LCS win according to
Yes.
Bad X Instinct.
Yes, always.
Get your hashtag Alawi win if you just want to see the Alawi do well and doesn't matter who wins the game.
Oh man. So I don't think we're gonna see any invades. No one team's level 1 is actually pretty strong. PBB side is actually not going to be very strong at all with the Alawi. The Alawi doesn't really do much because tentacles are not going to be anywhere near her.
I think it's a resistance chroma right there.
It isn't. It is the white one, I believe. I don't own all the chromas.
Are you a real Alawi player?
Huh?
Oh, and looks like we're going to get a double invade. Fudgy running away. Oh, as the Morgana binding. Okay, they just get some vision down and place it and run away. Oh. I still have music.
By the way, whatever I just said was a lie. I own all the chromas. I just don't want to admit it. Oh god, get me away from this champion. You know what? I'm just gonna look at her.
We are joined in chat by the former mid laner of NTA, who is now their current support in Karut328, who is going to have the highest data bill of his life because he's on a phone. He's on his phone in BF Arkansas. He doesn't. He doesn't have Sprint.
Oh. Join Sprint today.
Yep.
Alright, so pretty standard starts coming from both the teams. It's going to be a red start for the Quicksilvers and a blue start over with Labby on the Lee Sin.
Yeah, just looking here, you know, you gotta think that maybe the Vi doesn't want to see the Lee Sin in the early game.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't think so. Not level 1, maybe level 3. Level 3, you'd have a little bit of a time because a little bit of a better time because you could proc the passive to get that extra attack speed. But honestly, if I'm Quicksilvers, yeah, I don't wanna see the Lee Sin early at least.
yeah, I think both junglers have been spotted out by Vision on both sides of the team, getting the opposite scuttlers. Right now, Labyrinth just finishing that one up, and Vi have only doing one camp at this moment, so both of them just sitting on one camp plus scuttle. As the bot lane gets in, and there's the E right there already.
Yeah, not close enough to the tentacle, unfortunately, so can't capitalize on the damage. However, you know, free grass stacks, that's pretty cool. That's another, so I lied. He is going to Emax. However, Klepto is the better,
Keystone.
Klepto is the better mastery because you get the free procs on the
Vessel.
On the vessel, exactly. So kind of strange, but you know, he'll just be that much more tanky. And actually, we do see.
Yeah, we see.
Labby.
We see Labby up here in the top lane looking for a gank onto Or Rangers right here. Going to do the cripple, gets this knocked up by the Ornn. The Aftershock doing a lot of damage in return, but they're just going to hit the Vissel and then slow him down. Gets the Sonic Wave to land, hits the Resonating Strike as well, but Vias here gets first blood onto Quicksilvers as Front Lash is now running, does have Flash available, but tries to return as much damage as he possibly can. First blood going over to the side of NTA.
Oof. It's a big move right there. Not having enough damage to take out the Ornn early, and that's kind of the thing with Ornn is that he has that tank to help him survive these early damages. And I mean, a Lee Sin, with just the Hunter's Knife is not going to cut it out. The Alawi with only the Corrupting Potion as well. Honestly speaking, at that point, you burn the Flash and you kind of just let it go, and then you repeat the gank. But, just a little too forced there on the side of PBB.
Yeah, I feel that when you saw how much damage was being taken right there, it probably just not the best, as there is a dodge right here from Midnight Wisp going out. A Flash burned already. One more auto attack damage burns the heal and the Tempest and the exhaust coming out, but the Resonating Strike does not land onto Midnight Wisp. So 3 summoners burned for 2 in the bot lane, as we just have a lot of early action coming out of the side of PBB's jungler. Also to note that Fuzzy Ditters has taken the teleport once again. So not really having heal for any potential ganks right here. Only 1 combat summoner.
Yeah, the Snacker special with the TP bot lane. It's going to give him more map presence later on in the game. But yeah, he just kind of has to survive this early game.
In the top lane, Frontlash having to burn the Flash as the Vault Breaker misses right there onto Frontlash, but just a summoner burned.
Pretty solid stuff there by Frontlash, just burning the Flash, getting out of there.
Yep.
Hello. Okay, cool. So yeah, pretty standard stuff. I mean, he's gonna hit 6 pretty soon, so he won't exactly need that summoner spell anytime soon. So just playing it safe there. Funnily enough, Labby actually did not flash in that gank whenever Midnight Wisp was like at an 1/8 of their health. Pretty interested as to why he didn't. I feel like maybe the flash would have been. Oh, Frontlash is 6. I feel like the Flash maybe would have been a little bit easier of an engage tool than the Ward Hop. But I'm not the Lee Sin player.
Yeah, I think just maybe the Flash could have been used to try to avoid some of the damage, but you also didn't have any vision on the side of them to find out where the Vi was. As this is just exactly what we were talking about. Or Rangers is getting arranged around here in the top lane, away from his top lane turret.
Oh my gosh, and not even a phage completed yet, already burning most of Blue Ranger's health bar there. It's not going to feel good. I mean, going even in this lane is starting to become a little bit more of a... He missed the pink word.
Yeah.
What's up, Fails? How you doing? My name's Sebastian.
Up in another Tesla Spirit going to land. I feel like directed camera is like, hey, you know what's really annoying and really interactive? The E on Alawi. We got to show that every time he hits it.
It's a skill shot. It's a skill shot.
I mean, yeah, it is.
It's a skill shot. I mean, Morgana W, that's also in this game, is a little more impressive than that, I feel.
Well, Morgana W has an area effect, so yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You have that. Oh my. I play this champion a lot. Every time I chunk somebody for most of their health, I still get surprised every time.
That doesn't sound like someone who really understands the limits of a champion that well.
I mean, right.
As here comes the call of Void God up here on the top. The Vault Breaker missed the assault and venom, but he has no mana. He cannot ult to take this turnaround, and Quicksilver's again with the 2 kills in the early game. As the culling comes out to take a bunch of damage onto Murphy Rowdett, Fudgy trading some of his health bar to try to save some of his supports. As we haven't really been talking about the mid lane, we've been seeing Thunderbolts shooting right at the Arcane right now, trying to get all the damage, but it looks like he's just going to farm the wave out and push it out and try to probably back. But he's been landing a lot of poke onto Rob. And with no interactions from either jungle on that side, I think that's really, really beneficial for the side if you're the Xerath.
Yeah, I mean, like you were saying earlier, the Syndra post 6 does have the potential to just go ahead and one-shot the Xerath if there's no jungle intervention. So really good right now on the Thunderbolts to keep themselves safe, keep themselves out of range, as well as pumping out the damage. But you know, on the other side, really good on Rob to keep up, even through all the poke and everything else. Still managing to be right there with them in farm.
Yep, a phage now completed for the side of Front Lash in this top lane as he's just going to do that. And meanwhile, direct to camera did not show us, but the side of PBB did take the Infernal Drake that was down there in the bot lane. So that's actually massive for the side of PBB as they have 3 people who want to abuse that. Oh, a nice headbutt pull right there, but a flash and ult coming out of Fudgy. Maybe a misclick? I'm not entirely sure right there, but now Summonerless 80 carry right now, and Murphy Raudet is still not 6, so doesn't have that Unbreakable Will. Now he does, with Ignite available, but all the Summoners are available down here for the side of the bot lane.
Really a heads-up play there by Fudgy Ditters, saying that the ultimate is not worth his life, so therefore just went ahead and pulled the trigger on a minion to try and get out of that situation. Oh.
Here comes Vi with the wall breaker, but a nice headbutt pull, and then they go on to Fudgy Ditters down here in the bot lane. Midnight Wisp picks up the first kill as he charges to start the culling right now, and he's going to just clear out the minion wave right here as we see more of the same in the top lane, which has been extremely beneficial for the side of News Team Assemble.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of have to give Eric his solidarity and say, hey, look, man, you're just gonna. This is not gonna be fun for you. So you know we'll make plays around the map, and they have. I mean, NTA right now 3-0, about a 2K gold lead. Really putting out a lot of pressure in all these other lanes. And by that same token, Rangers 0-0 and 2. Really good stuff on their part.
Oh, the ultimate comes out from Front Lash right there. Here comes the call the Forge Guard, but now he's taking turret shots underneath the tower. And the Aftershock proc is not available, but he does get the last Test of Spirit on there. Will he be able to take down Rangers? He had to burn Flash. He doesn't have any mana to burn anything right there. Here comes Thunderbolts right here, though, burning the ultimate, going to take 1, take 2, misses the 3rd one right outside of the range. Front Lash lives. But Willie, he's still looking. He doesn't have Ghost or anything to give to him, but he's just going to try to find him, and it is gone. But here comes Rob coming up here with Labyrinth. Labyrinth is already half health from the jungle. If Rob can land a stun, both of them land a stun. Here comes Labyrinth chasing the Q, but the TP out from more Rangers right here is going to knock them. Oh, and here comes Quicksilver's with the Flash Assault and Battery. Oh, Vault Breaker, excuse me. What a play from the side of Quicksilvers and our Rangers. This jungler right now is popping off 4 of 4 kill participation for the side of News Team Assemble.
Great reaction from News Team Assemble there. Understanding the limitations of all of their champions, understanding that Rangers had that fight won in the top lane, and then having the damage to pump it out. And to get the kill onto Rob and Labyrinth, really good stuff there. Oh, I'm sorry, it was just Labyrinth, but getting the kill onto Labyrinth, really good rotations there on the side of NTA. And honestly speaking, if they keep that up, I don't really foresee Power Bottom boys being able to come back from this.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see that once the Black Cleaver is finished from the side of Front Lash, how much damage he is actually able to do to try to keep War Rangers out of this top lane and maybe get some damage on these structures, as first turret gold is still available, even though we're looking at about a 2,100 gold lead for the side of NTA right now, as Front Lash has just been hitting every Test of Spirit, hits his ultimate right now, just doing as much damage as he possibly can. Takes a tower shot, and here comes Call of the Forge God. He doesn't have flash up, and it's going to be a solo kill onto the side of... oh, nope. Yep, there it is. Rangers taking it right now. As there's a gank in the bot lane. Labyrinth, 1898, picking up the kill onto Oceanics right there. So the first kill going over to the side of Power Bottom Boys to kind of just settle things down. But a 1-for-1 trade in the top lane is not exactly what you're looking for the Alawi team.
No, especially the fact that Alawi shouldn't be losing these fights. But again, that just goes back to the keystone that Frontlash decided to get. I mean, now.
Oh, and gets so game played right there. What an outplay from Rob. Gameplay button being used, as we said. Fair and balanced.
Please, it's League of
Yeah,
Legends button.
the League of Legends button. Blasting one, and that's it.
Yeah.
Lost chapter as well.
Sounds about right. But going back to what I was saying about the keystone that you really want is kleptomancy. Reason why is because you should be getting your Black Cleaver at about the 10 to 11 minute mark rather than the 14-minute mark. You're going to be able to cut through a lot more, and now you see yourself behind. You have the greater CS number here, but you have a Black Cleaver to an Orange who has now finished Ninja Time.
Oh, Quicksilver's looking for Labby. Labby going to kick back, and then they both use their ultimates on each other. Labby doesn't want to be here anymore. Flash coming out from Quicksilver's, and a dead jungler 1v1 that we usually don't see here in PMA LCS.
Yeah, Labby, I guess, just didn't know what Quicksilver's had, but that is a 2-0 Quicksilver's in the form of a Vi that had not only the jungle item completed, but as well as the Sheen. Ooh, Frontlash actually becoming a little.
Oh, but here he is getting flanked on all sides. A stun comes out from Thunderbolts, gets the kill right there with the right of the arc, with the Q from Xerath. As they are also going to get this Rift Herald now at the exact same time. 7-2 in kills and about a 2.2k gold lead for the side of NTA. As meanwhile, Power Bottom Boys are focusing down this Mountain Drake right here. As the root does land on to Rob, who did have the ult available, but they don't have the jungler here to secure it until just now. Here comes Labby back from the spawn, and they get the dragon, but looks like they're also going to get top lane turret as they use the Rift Herald top lane to get Aura Rangers out of here. Says, please, I'm tired of being hit by all of these Alawi E's. Just let me roam.
Yeah, I mean, honestly speaking, PBB needs to slow this game down. You're looking at a 4K goal 16 minutes into the game. Rift Herald has been taken.
Midnight Wisp getting engaged on by Fudgy Diggers, who does get rooted away by Oceanics. Labby using the Sonic Wave right there, does not have the range on it, even though it was buffed, I think, with Region of Past. But he face checks this and just goes down instantly to Midnight Wisp. Labby just not having the best game right now. A 1-4-0 scoreline with his Warrior Enchantment not even completed, going straight for lethality.
I think that's generally what you want to do on the Lee Sin. I mean, the Labby specialist never finished the jungle item, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. There's no junglers on this desk.
But yeah, so going back to what I was saying, they need to slow this game down. That's one of the reasons why. You know, like why face check that side of the bush when your lane partners were clearing out the wave. Why go to the tri bush to set up what kind of vision? You wait a couple seconds for your team to be there, and then you can go ahead and you can clear that ward if you know that it's there, and it's just the safer option. PBB just not really having a good game. As you see, or Rangers actually
in the bot lane going hard. Forge God flashes burn for both bot laners. A nice disengage from the side of Murphy Rowdett. Burns the unbreakable roll right there. A TP coming out from Frontlash, going to try to grab the Test of Spirit right here. Ult's right there, but meanwhile in mid lane, Thunderbolts gets the kill on to Rob right there with the help of the Assault and Battery from Quicksilver's. Murphy Rowdett does land the headbutt pull again, and they take down the shutdown gold, actually going over the Frontlash, which will be huge later on in this fight, but they do trade it over for Murphy Rowdett's life, as Labby is caught here in the mid lane, taking some poke from Thunderbolts.
They gotta be careful here. Midnight Wisp.
Oh, Fudgy going on a 1v2 mission underneath the tower. But the ult from Oceanics takes it out. A flash coming out from Midnight Wisp, but the kill's going to go over to Oceanics, and a double kill, actually, as both the top laner and the ADC were not on the same page. Fudgy thinking he had more damage than he possibly had, trading over 2 kills right there.
Man, this game is just going from bad to worse right now. Fudgy Ditter's not on the same page, like you said. and ended up giving his life over to the Oceanics, and then trying to make a play to try and dive the illusion there with Front Lash, but Front Lash isn't exactly in the best state right now as well. Didn't even have had the Black Cleaver, but doesn't even have tier 2 boots or anything else to allow any more innate tankiness. So yeah, just they're forcing way too much. I'm gonna say this over and over again, but they are forcing these fights to where they think they can win them, but they're behind. It's just not gonna work when you're 5K, almost 8K gold behind.
Yeah,
5K, almost 8K. 5K,
yeah,
almost
5K,
6K gold
8K,
behind.
math. It's all good.
Yeah,
Frontline Kaisa going to be making an appearance this week on Fails of the Week, just to let y'all know that. But I think it goes back to what we talked to in the draft. This Alistar pick, while it is good for some engage, which is what they really needed on the side of Power Bottom Boys, they don't have any way of stopping this Ornn engage. Anytime Ornn ults, you're going to have to burn a flash or just run as fast as possible away from it, which is unlikely. As we do see the 4 members of Power Bottom Boys start to group around this mid lane. Dragon will be up in 1 minute and 30 seconds, but Baron is already live. And the next Drake will be a Mountain Drake. So it would be huge. Ooh, what damage from Rob right there on a Orangers Ornn. Popping Call the Forge Guard, going on to Ornn right there.
What?
The culling getting taken down. All of it burns the heal. Gets the stun land on the both right there as Murphy Raudet goes in, makes Quicksilvers have to burn the flash. And going to take down 1, 2, misses, 3 misses, but it doesn't. 4 misses right there from the side of Thunderbolts. But Murphy Raudet does go down to Morgana at the end of it all. Here comes Front Lash coming on the flank right here.
Front Lash, don't do
Front Lash
it.
coming in. He flashes, he misses the E, but he uses the ulti and just makes everybody flash out and run away except for Thunderbolts. And Rangers just walks away. Oh, Oceanics just walked away as well. Wow, no one really flashed. One person flashed.
Yeah. I think those are one of those times. Oceanics. Nice flash getting away from the Sonic Wave there of the Lee Sin. But I think Front Lash just had a moment there. It was like, man, you know what? I just need to present it, and everyone on NTA was like, yeah, you know what? We want to deal with this. So
yeah, it was a class presentation. Only Front Lash was doing show and tell. Everybody else forgot their homework and said, we gotta go. We don't have anything to show. As looks like this will be a 3rd Drake of the game here at 22 minutes going over to the side of Power Bottom Boys. And not only is it just a Drake, it'll be the 2nd Mountain Drake as now, but get kicked away from the side of Labyrinth. But Rangers TP flank in the back.
Excuse me?
And he misses it entirely as now we just have 2 fights on 2 different fronts. Front Lash and Rob going down, and Rangers going to try to kill Fudgy Ditters 1v1 underneath the tier 2 turret. So they get the Mountain Drake but lose 4 in the process. As Labby's the only one available, and it looks like they're going to push mid and probably contest for Baron.
That's what you like to call the easy clap. And yeah, Rangers really putting damage there, missing the ultimate there, but still getting the kill on Fudgy Ditters. I'm kind of interested on how that happened, but Direct to Camera said, well, we're going to take you away from this action, and we're going to show you Front Lash giving his life.
Yeah, I think that's what my friend Midnight Wisp would call the swag ult. He wanted to show them that he didn't have to hit the ult to actually kill them. So he maybe have gotten a kill on Labby and got a clean ace, but he's like, I don't need it to kill Fudgy because he has TP.
Yeah.
But right now we're looking at this, and it's almost a 10k gold lead for the side.
23.
Yeah, at 23.5 minutes. Baron's now up. They did take the mid lane tier 1 instead of going for the early Baron play. Looking at some of these item completions, you see the Shirelia's completed, and Yoramu, formerly known as Yoramu, Oceanics, has taken the Oh, what is the name of that? Athene's Unholy Grail, actually. As Front Lash is just going to be on split push duty right now, has the TP available.
That's Shirelius.
Yeah. Well, no, Athene's and...
Sorry, the Athene.
Yeah, Shirelius and Athene's Unholy Grail. As we are looking at, you know, some CS differentials, a huge CS differential in the top lane that doesn't really equate to much.
Yeah, it's almost a flame horizon.
Yeah, at this moment, but 400 gold is only the advantage that Front Lash has right there. And in terms of the 80 carries right now, it's about a 2,700 gold difference with you know, a pretty big 40 CS gold lead. As Front Lash is now just shredding away at the spirit of Or Rangers. I think if Alawi can get to the point, has the Sterix gauge completed, and has the Black Cleaver completed, if you can keep Or Rangers in this side lane, especially when he doesn't have TP up, I think that'll really benefit the slowing down that you were talking about that needs to happen for the side of Power Bottom Boys.
And I mean, it would have been great if Front Lash were, you know, maybe a 4-1 Alawi instead of a 1-5 Alawi. But I mean, he's still putting his pressure down. Or Rangers really can't deal with this. You know, like 3-1, 2 items in. I mean, they're on equal footing, and Front Lash is going to win this. If there is nobody else that comes into this lane and actually helps, Front Lash is not going to have the hardest time breaking down these towers.
Yeah, we saw Rob trying to get a small catch right there as Murphy Rowdett eats a binding right there. Does a lot of damage right there. Call of the Forge God coming out just to dissuade Front Lash
Clear the way.
away. So that will not be able to be used here if Alawi decides to, you know, go dive underneath the tower as we've seen before. Right of the Arcane going to be coming out just to dissuade everybody off of this tower. Fudgy playing frontline Kaisa once again, having to burn Flash, a full channel culling coming out from Midnight Wisp right there, as we see blinking health bars on 3 of the 4 members right here, as Front Lash is just whacking away on this tower. So overall, just a tower trade with some summoners as well.
Mm-hmm. Like I said, I mean, if Front Lash can continue this kind of pressure, then I don't really foresee Or Rangers being able to do anything about it. And now he kind of has to be a little bit wary. He does not have any more mana, but that does not mean NTA will not go for.
Yeah, they're starting this Baron right now. Or Rangers just kind of trying to stop the back right here, kind of to see if he can make, you know, Front Lash stay here since he doesn't have TP, but he does. The stuns and the bindings land onto Yuramus, who's going to be the tankiest member right here, and they dissuade NTA off of their kind of Baron bait desperation attempt. So for the side, you know, now it's about a 8,000 gold lead as we were looking about 10,000 prior to. PBB has ways that they can find back in here. If they can land a catch onto any member not named Ornn with the Rob stun, Rob can probably 100 to 0 them. Now that they have the Ludens and the Sork shoes done, no real magic resist to speak of on any member outside of the Merc treads on the Vi. And now the Haunting Guys and Blasting Wand added to that. We see a bunch of pink wards coming out in both inventories right now. Looking at the vision score, Murphy Rowdett with a 63 vision score right now. The closest in the game is the closest in the game is actually the jungler for the side of News Team Assemble. We have 20 seconds on this dragon. I don't know if you're the side of PBB if you actually want to fight this. It is another Mountain Drake, so you want it, but I don't think you're in a place to contest. Oh, but get on. Quicksilver has to flash away. Test of Spirit lands right there. So there is no flash available for the jungler to try to safely secure a steal onto this. Oh, and the Test of Spirit lands again. Blind, I believe, onto the side. But a stun does land down as Oceanics is on the other side of this fight right now. Braum, the Ornn coming down, getting the Test of Spirit onto Midnight Wisp. That's going to be a bunch of damage. But the ult comes out. Quicksilvers takes out Labby. Front Lash is going down really low. The right of the Arcane hitting the back line. Makes 3 members really, really low. Rob's going to go down one last tick. No, he survives right there and gets the stun off onto the rest of the team. So it's just Fudgy and Rob that are alive, and what looked really bad for the side of NTA is actually going to be secure on this Mountain Drake for them.
Oh! By the way, that tentacle almost stole that dragon.
Oh, from Midnight Wisp?
No, Blue Rangers was actually a vessel. Got the spirit taken out of the, and the tentacles were swinging away.
I see that. I had 46 health left after the tentacle swung.
Yeah. So that would have been.
That would have been the play of the week. That would have been so spicy. As Labby has completed his jungle item, so what does this mean? It spells either defeat or victory for the side of Power Bottom Boys.
As opposed to
victory or victory. Or defeat or defeat. Yeah. High tier analysis. This is why they pay you the bucks to be the analysis. I'm just play by play.
This is why they pay us the big bucks. 20-4 scoreline. This game is bloody. And right now on the side of NTA, you know, they're really putting the macro game into perspective here. They're all postured around this Baron. Front Lash does have the TP, is ball lane to clear out that wave, and they're just gonna, you know, kind of strong arm the vision. Actually, the pink ward, okay, it does spot it. It does spot the ward in the very back there. I was confused as to whether or not it would. So now Baron is blind, and PBB are going to go ahead and try and answer this. Front Lash is still going to go ahead and try and initiate the split push. If NTA wants to do something, if they're going to want to play this Baron dance, they can. Not with Front Lash there in the bot lane. Yep. Because he actually pushes that pretty fast.
Or Rangers is going to walk down now and respond to that push from Front Lash. Both have TP available, while Front Lash does not have Flash available. But the vision game is very much in the favor of News Team Assemble as they assemble around this Baron right now, trying to just take away as much vision as they possibly can. And you know, going forward, again, it's going to come down to what Front Lash can do in this side lane. Oh, but Quicksilver's is here, and they're going to knock him up right now. Gets a knock up right there on the Front Lash. Call the Forge God coming out, but the Test of Spirit, double knock up right there, but the Stair Escape does massive damage to Quicksilver, and Rangers has to run away now. The jungler and Burning Flash for top lane right there. You have to think that was a little bit of a overreach to think that the squishy Quicksilvers could do anything. News Team Assemble does have a massive lane in the top lane, but they're going to take this mid lane turret and trade away their jungler as well. Wow, so much damage coming out from the side of Alawi.
Yeah, no matter how behind an Alawi, you cannot try and fight her underneath her ult. That is something that they've been doing very well this entire game, except for that one fight, and now they realize that. But I think it may be too late. I think Power Bottom Boys have the power.
Oh, but Rob misses the stun! He flashed without the ball, and he's going to have to ult Midnight Wisp just for some damage as he gives away his life as they burn down this Baron and actually get it. No! Midnight Wisp takes it with the culling! Did he not?
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. He did. Oh my god. By the way, I think I'm ahead of you. 32, 33, 34, 35.
No, we're right at the same time. I just didn't call it.
Oh.
Oh my goodness.
That was Power Bottom Boys play. Oh, that was so.
And now Front Lash going to get taken by the binding right here, forcing Oceanics Flash and ult out because he realized this is not the fight that we want to do. Quicksilver right here going in, getting kicked away, but then Midnight Wisp just putting on a display right now. TP coming in. This could be the game right here as all four members of NTA are up, minus Front Lash. They're going to take down this inhibitor. The stun and QSS come down, but here comes Call of the Forge God onto Rob. Lands right there, but the knock away from Murphy Rowdet right there. Flash on to Fudgy Ditters. The Assault and Better comes out, but the disengage right there from Rob's ult, but then he dies after that from Murphy Rowdet. Rangers going down to Labyrinth right here. A lot of damage from the Xerath coming back out, but the shutdown guild going on to Fudgy Ditters right now as there are minions hitting the Nexus Tower, but only a trade of kills and an inhibitor right there. Two going down for the side of NTA and one going down for the side of Power Bottom Boys. But man, that Baron still was crucial to that.
Absolutely. I mean, I think it just took 2 taps of the ultimate to go ahead and take it down. I'm wondering if
I'm lagging.
if Labby panic smited because he knew he was going to be going down to try and get the smite down at least, but because of the timing aspect of it, ended up freeing up the Baron there for Midnight Wisps. Really good heads up play there by Midnight Wisps, taking out Rob. After understanding that Rob had missed most of his abilities at that point. Really good job there by him.
So if you want to, you could go back and check it out whenever you get a chance. As you know, now with the Baron remaining on 3 members of NTA and this Infernal Drake, the second one, the RNGesus gods want us to have a lot of fights, as the Testosphere does land on to Oceanics, who takes about 3/4 of their health in damage.
Yeah.
So that's fun. Or Rangers, casual damage. Has to take the Honeysuckle Fruit. Here comes the Call of the Forge God right here. Going to focus out on Front Lash, actually. Has the Stairs Gauge pop, misses the Spirit, but Midnight Wish just doing so much damage to take away Front Lash right there. Or Rangers is slain by Rob right there, but now Quicksilver is jumping on top of Fuddy Dares, who gets exhausted and taking away a double kill coming out for the side of the Xerath. And the Morgana ult right there, and that will be a ace, only losing their top laner right there, as they're just going to run it down mid with the minions on their base right there.
It's game, man. Not Quicksilver's. Midnight Wisps was not touched that entire fight, and that was so crucial. The peel on the side of NTA/Marbles was so good. Midnight Wisp is just pumping out so much damage, and PBB cannot get to him. They cannot get to the Lucian, and they cannot finish out the game. Really good stuff by NTA here.
Yeah, not only was Midnight Wisp not touched in that fight, he was not touched the entire game, being the only member of the game to not die with a 10-0-9 scoreline. Impeccable play coming out from the AD carry of News Team Assemble.
Every single time we actually saw green, the positioning was just premium on the side of Midnight Wisp, to be completely honest. Premium positioning there. I mean, and that's a lot to say about PBB, because of course a lot of those early game fights, and they started on the back foot, trying to make too many plays. The tower dive in the bot lane, just really not what you want to see whenever you're initially behind. But it just kind of snowballed out of control. And Midnight Wisp, in my opinion, I think is the game MVP for this.
Yeah, but you kind of got to look at these damage charts and say Midnight Wisp didn't even beat Front Lash or the Xerath. So obviously, and he plays the AD carry role, so we know that ADCs can't win MVPs. Give me that exclamation point ADC in chat. No, but I totally agree with you, actually. Midnight Wisp is by far the runaway candidate. I think the only one that comes close is Quicksilver's, because of the early game pressure that was able to kind of stymie Front Lash and Labyrinth in the early game. Just doing so much. The only real falter that Quicksilver's ever had was that play in the bot lane where, it came to Midnight Wisp to have some heroic plays on that, Baron still right there. So I'm going to give my vote to Midnight Wisp.
Yeah, I agree as well. Like I was, Chris just put a hell of a show there. Giving a shout out over there. I mean, like I said, premium positioning. That's as a Lucian, that is the greatest tool that you have, and he put everything into that game, pumping out the damage, all the damage that an AD could, for the memes. But honestly speaking, I feel like Midnight Wisp there, easy game, 1 MVP.
Yep. So we're going to take a quick break as we cut the stream for VOD purposes, and we'll be right back with Game 2 between News Team Assemble and Power Bottom Boys. We'll be right back.